So here's a quick overview of our agenda for today. We'll cover internal and external scholarships, graduate assistantships, and other funding resources, which include financial aid and using our military benefits for education. So by the end of this session, you'll have a better understanding of how to navigate the financial aspects of graduate school and make the most of the opportunities that you do have available. Before we do dive into the funding specifics, let's take a moment to reflect on the value of a master's degree. Yesterday, we did learn that higher education opens doors to higher income potential, greater professional opportunities, and enhanced career stability. On average, we see that individuals with the master's degree earn more and have lower unemployment rates than those with lesser education. By investing in your graduate education, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of career growth, personal fulfillment, and economic security. So now let's talk about the scholarships that McAda Graduate School offers. These are internal scholarships, meaning that they are available to admitted students. So we offer several of those scholarships, and that's going to be through our online scholarship manager. So admitted students can submit one application to be matched with the scholarships you are eligible for by scanning the QR code there. We also have the Arbor Creek Apartment Scholarship, where the selected student receives one rent 1 year of free rent, and the Donna and Danny Shanks Scholarship. So each year, two programs are eligible for this funding. Right now, for the 2024-2025 year, those programs eligible are business administration, business analytics, and computer science. We also have the Graduate Student Ambassador Scholarship, as well as graduate student research and travel grants. So I do encourage you to explore external scholarships tailored to your field of study. You can start so by doing a general search for your field and graduate scholarships. You can talk with the graduate coordinator in your prospective program to find scholarships that are specific to your degree. Ethnicity is going to be another thing. Some organizations offer scholarships for students of a certain ethnicity, your unique life circumstances. Also, looking at state aid. Each state has a variety of financial aid allocated for its residents. Many of these awards are designated for individuals working in the public service or for degrees that are high in demand in that area in efforts to help support the state's workforce needs. Local aid, you can check with your city's Chamber of Commerce and local businesses to see if locally funded scholarship money is available to you. And even looking for employer-sponsored opportunities, you can check with your employer's human resource department to see if scholarships are available to employees, even if you are a part-time worker or contract worker. The wider that you cast your net, the greater opportunities you may have available to you. Additionally, we have graduate assistantships. This is another excellent way to get funding as well as job experience. So assistantships require students to maintain a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and the student must work at maximum 19 hours per week while being enrolled in classes. And again, this is a hands-on experience, so not only does this help fund your education, but also builds your professional skills. And for more opportunities, you can reach out to our Career Management Center to explore some additional on-campus and local employment options that are available. Okay. And many employers offer tuition assistance or reimbursement programs. Here's how to make the most of those benefits. And according to the Society of Human Resource Management, about 48% of employers offer tuition assistance as an employee benefit. However, only about 2% of eligible employees take advantage of this assistance. The tuition reimbursement programs often come with employee eligibility requirements, so it's definitely going to be important that you refer to your HR representative. So the first step is going to be requesting a copy of your tuition assistance policy from your employer. Communicate your educational goals with your HR representative. Identify what approvals and signatures are needed, and stay on top of all of the required paperwork to avoid delays. Employer benefits can significantly reduce your out-of-pocket expenses, so be sure to take advantage of those available options that you do have. So, and that does conclude my portion of funding your graduate education. Next, we will hear from Michelle Wells, our Assistant Director in Financial Aid.
Good afternoon. Let me see if I can get my screen shared and presentation going. All right, here we go. All right, so getting financial aid as a graduate student is the process begins just like undergrad students. You complete the FAFSA application every year, the free application for federal student aid. If you're looking for financial aid for starting next fall, that'll be the 25-26 FAFSA. That should be launching on or before December 1 is what the Department of Ed is still telling us. So that's just a few weeks away. So every student every year will complete the FAFSA application. That collects your demographic, your financial aid information, your financial information, tax information, etc. The Department of Ed uses that to calculate a student aid index, which is a benchmark for eligibility. And then the financial aid office will utilize that FAFSA application and that SAI to determine the type of aid that each student is eligible for. If you're completing the 25-26 FAFSA, you'll be utilizing your 2023 tax information that is now directly imported into your FAFSA for you when you complete the FAFSA. That started in the 24-25 year. And then we plan to start determining aid and sending out notifications to students in the spring semester, sometime in March. As far as tips, pay attention to the email address that you put on the FAFSA. And so the university has moved forward with utilizing the MSU student email address. But a lot of the students that submit FAFSAs to us do that before they're admitted. And so the financial aid office will utilize the email address that the student puts on the FAFSA as the means of communication. Know your priority deadline dates to have the best opportunity to get the most aid available. We request that students complete their FAFSAs by February 15th of each semester. If you've never completed a FAFSA application, then you first will sign up for an FSA ID. That's your signature, that's your account information. You will need that in order to complete your FAFSA application. As far as financial aid, now, if you are going to, I thought I put a slide in there for that, but if you are switching from undergrad for fall into a graduate program for the spring semester, and we already have your FAFSA for this academic year, then you simply need to contact our office. You can send me an email, call our office, contact financial aid at financial-aid at MSU Texas. And we can make the necessary corrections to your current FAFSA, as well as adjust your aid to better reflect your graduate level eligibility. We do need a FAFSA for graduate students, and graduate students can participate in some institutional grant funds. This is in place of the federal Pell Grant. These are institutional funds. They are offered on a first come, first served basis. The first one is the TPEG grant, that stands for Texas Public Education Grant. And then we also have the MSU Gold Grant. These are a limited pot of funds, and that just signifies how important it is to complete your FAFSA as quickly as possible each and every year as soon as it becomes available. The institutional grants are based off of registered hours, your enrollment level. For financial aid purposes, 6 hours is full-time, 3 hours is half-time, and you can get institutional grant funds for both of those enrollment levels. They are adjusted for half-time students. Tuition and fees are less for half-time students, and so the awards are less for half-time students. Again, unfortunately, the federal Pell Grant or the state Texas grant are not available for graduate students. And so if you are currently receiving Pell or the Texas grant, unfortunately, that will not continue into your graduate program. You could be eligible for our institutional grants that we just covered, as well as student loans, and then other benefits such as anything coming out of the Veterans Affairs Office, the GI Bills, Chapter 30, Hazelwood exemptions. There are a variety of exemptions offered by the state of Texas, and you can look at all of those if you go to collegeforalltexans.com. We also have work studies available to graduate students. This is a need-based program, so it is something that students have to qualify for based on the income level that's on the FAFSA. That's similar with grant programs. Students generally work on campus up to 20 hours a week. Students have to be enrolled at least half-time. And as with all small programs, jobs go quickly and there are a limited number of jobs. So again, it's important to complete your FAFSA quickly and then contact our office if you're interested in receiving work study. Federal student loans are a little different for graduate students as well. Graduate students are only eligible for unsubsidized loans and the credit-based Graduate Plus Loan Program. Unsubsidized loans are not need-based. They do accrue interest from the time that it's dispersed. The interest rate is slightly higher than it is for undergrad students. The current interest rate for unsubsidized loans for graduate students is 8.08%. That is fixed for this year. We will find out next year's loan rates in July of 25. The credit-based Graduate Plus loan comes with a fixed interest rate for this year of 9.08%. As with all federal loan processes, repayment begins 6 months after the student graduates or stops attending at a half-time enrollment. As a graduate student, students can now borrow up to $20,500 in the federal unsubsidized loan program. That's an annual loan limit, and an academic year for financial aid at Midwestern is fall, spring, and summer. So if a student was to take all of their unsubsidized loans eligibility between fall and spring, then the student would not have unsubsidized loan eligibility for summer. So it's important, if a student knows that they're going to go year round, that they're conscious of the amount they're borrowing each semester to make sure that they do have remaining eligibility for the summer term. Graduate Plus loans, again, are credit-based, and we offer those up to the student's cost of attendance. So if your loan limits run short of what you need, then sometimes graduate students will take out the plus loan for that additional gap up to their cost of attendance to supplement the amount of funds you're getting each semester. Again, we will begin awarding for the 25-26 year in March of 25, and we will direct students out to WebWorld to accept terms and conditions and accept or decline any loan funds that we offer you. If you've never done student loans before, students are required to complete a loan entrance counseling and their master promissory note, which is your legal binding loan agreement with the Department of Ed. Those are required to receive your first student loan, and those loan processes are good for up to 10 years. Students will start the process at studentaid.gov. That is the same as the FAFSA website. And then there'll be information out there about securing your student loan. So look for that tab. Graduate students interested in the Graduate Plus loan application will start here as well. Again, under loans, you should see a link to start that process. We disperse federal, state, and institutional aid to students no more than 10 days prior to the beginning of classes. For the spring 25 semester, we will be dispersing on January the 12th. Refunds will come out shortly after that. For the fall semester, we're generally dispersing mid-August. I don't have the fall 25 disbursement dates just yet. But when your financial aid is applied to your account with the business office, it will go towards paying your bill. If your financial aid is more than your university expenses, then the business office will issue you a refund check for the remaining financial aid. Those funds can then be used if you live off campus to help with rent, buy books, or help with living expenses. If your financial aid is less than what you owe the university for your tuition and fees, and if you have on-campus housing expenses, then students will be responsible to pay the difference of that to the business office at the appropriate time frame. The MSU Business Office does have short-term payment plans to help you through the payment deadline dates. So if your financial aid is not sufficient to cover your full bill, the business office can help you with the installment contract or emergency tuition and fee loan to help you get your classes secured to make sure that you don't get dropped for non-payment. There is also a book loan voucher that works with the campus bookstore to allow you to add your book expenses to your bill with the business office if you're not going to be getting a refund check to help you purchase those. An important component of financial aid is maintaining academic progress towards your degree. The federal government requires certain thresholds to make sure that you are SAP eligible. For a graduate student, that is to maintain a 3.0 cumulative GPA. Students must complete at least 67% of the classes that they attempt. That is considered your credit hour completion rate. And students have a maximum time frame of study in which you continue to get financial aid. And that varies by major, since different majors take longer to get a master's degree. All of that information is available on our SAP website at the website below. You can also email or give me a call if you have questions about SAP or the length of program eligibility. An important part of financial aid is completing your classes. And so if we give a student federal financial aid, which in the realm of federal financial aid, that would be the federal Pell Grant, SEOG grant, or federal student loans, and they withdraw from the university or stop attending all classes before completing more than 60% of the enrollment period, students may be required to repay that money back to Midwestern, as we will in turn be returning that back to the program. So class attendance and participation is important. Our suggestion is that if students have questions or concerns about completing their coursework, if they need to withdraw or they're thinking about dropping a class, that they give us a call so that we can counsel them on what the outcome would be on their future or current semester financial aid eligibility. All MSU offices are bound by FERPA, the Family Education Right and Privacy Act, and so your information is protected. If you have a family member or an organization that is requesting financial aid information or account information from the business office, we must have a release of information form on file so that we can provide that organization, if you're applying for scholarships, etc., we would have to have a FERPA form on file for you to be able to provide that information for you. Here are some websites that you can review. This is information about MSU financial aid. The College for All Texans website is there if you're looking for state-specific information or the exemption, for example, the exemption programs. And studentaid.gov, again, is the federal site where students both apply with the FAFSA application as well as secure any federal student loans. And here's our contact information. If you ever have any questions, feel free to email us, give us a call so that we can answer your questions and help you with your financial aid processes. And with that, I will turn this back over to Janae.
Thank you for that information, Michelle. It was definitely appreciated and much necessary on how to navigate the FAFSA process. Next, we will be hearing from Natalie regarding using any military or veterans benefits.
Trying to share the screen for you. Which one is it? Can you see it now?
Yes, we're able to see your screen.
Perfect, thank you. So my name is Natalie Tricoche. I'm your Veteran Affairs Specialist here at MSU. Today I will be talking a little bit about all the VA education programs that we have. So first one, these are all the programs that we have for VA education programs that we have federal and state-wise. The first ones, these are all the chapters that are under the federal education benefits. And then on the bottom, we have the state program, which are our Hazelwood Act exemption. So here are all the federal VA education benefit programs. We have Chapter 30, which is our Montgomery GI Bill. This one is for active duty service member who pay an initial $1,200 into the program on initial entry into the active duty. Then we have Chapter 31, which is our Veteran Readiness and Employment Program. This one is for veterans who has a service-connected disability rating of 10% or higher, they might qualify. So then after that, we have Chapter 33, which is post 9/11 GI Bill. This one is for veteran who served on active duty after 9/11-2001 for a minimum of 90 days or dependents of the eligible veteran. Then we have chapter 33, which is Dependents Education Assistant, DEA, which is for dependents of 100% disabled or deceased veterans. Then also we have chapter 1606, which is the Montgomery GI Bill Selected Reserve. This one is for active service member in a drilling reserve or National Guard unit. And then lastly, but not least, we have Edith North Rogers STEM Scholarship. This one is for veterans pursuing a degree in a STEM field and have or will exhaust Chapter 33 benefits within 180 days. Next, it's Texas Education Benefits Programs. This one is the Hazelwood Act exemption provides qualified veterans, spouses, and dependent children with an education benefit of up to 150 hours of tuition exemption, including most fee charges. There are three types of Hazelwood. We have Texas veteran, we have legacy children, we have child or spouse of 100% disabled or service-related disease veteran. The first one will be for U.S. We have for U.S. veteran that at the time of entry had their home of record or place of entry listed as Texas. Then we have legacy children, which is child of any Texas veteran that is using unused Hazelwood hours. And then the third one will be for child or spouse of a Texas veteran classified as permanently or totally disabled or deceased. This one can be also used in conjunction with Chapter 35 DEA benefits. For tuition and fees, we report in-state tuition and eligible fees to the VA for enrolled courses that directly apply to the degree being sought. To all charges not covered by a federal VA benefit program or the Hazelwood exemption are the responsibility of the student. The student must make payment arrangements by the due date set by the business office. And each semester, the student has to submit a benefit request form and a Hazelwood exemption application, just the same way that we do the FAFSA for any term that they are wanting to use it. For example, if they want to use it for the fall, they have to submit one for the fall. If they want to use it for the spring, they have to submit one for the spring. The same with both summer terms. Here are our contact information. We have 3 school certifying officials, myself, Ariana Shori, and Elena Kaiser. We also have 2 student VA assistants, which are Isaac and Celia. And also there you can find our phone number, email, all the documents regarding the application or any documents that we need for you to be able to certify has to be sent to the email provided there to our office. Or you can bring it here in person, whichever you prefer. And there you can find where we are located. We're located in the Harding South wing of Harding building at the registrar's office. And any other information that you might need, it will be at the msutexas.edu/registrar/veterans. Do we have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie, for that presentation. That was very informative and very helpful for those who will be using veterans benefits to help fund their education. So to wrap up funding our graduate education, we see that it involves leveraging all of our available resources, whether that's scholarships, assistantships, employer benefits, financial aid, veterans benefits. We have to maximize all of these opportunities to make your educational journey as seamless as possible. So now we will be answering any questions if we do have any available. I do want to let everyone know in the chat I did leave a file for everyone. There are just a list of some various scholarships, different search engines, both available to US citizens and non-US citizens, available in the chat if you wanted to download and save that file. We will stay here. And thank you for being with us. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them now, or feel free to reach out to us via email or phone call. Yes, I see we have a hand raised.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm sorry I came in late for